The Mask with Jim Carrey is my latest 4K review from Arrow Video. Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the movie and some thoughts I have with the movie. I've only seen The Mask like one time, and rewatching it now, it's a really fun movie. It's kind of a weird movie because it's not really it's a comic book movie, but it's not really treated like a comic book movie. And when you know that, you kind of see the style of some of the comic book movies at the time, like Darkman. Well, Darkman's an original creation by Sam Raimi, but it was kind of in the vein of Batman. You got Batman 1989, stuff like that, and Batman Forever come out close to the time of this movie. You got well, Batman Forever came after because Jim Carrey was in that. But you know what I mean? Like, you kind of see stuff like that in this movie. Uh, and so I think this movie's interesting on that front. I also think it's a very funny movie. It's a very cartoony movie. Jim Carrey's a lot of fun. I do think this movie is kind of sad in the sense that this movie is so fondly remembered, but the comic is based on is just forgotten, and there is no memory of where this source material came from, especially since the source material is very different. It's very violent. So it's kind of interesting. I am very curious if someone will ever take the mass source material and do it closer than the comic. I feel like the problem is no one's really passionate about the comic, but there are people passionate about this movie. So I wish actually, as a complaint with this release, that there was more special features kind of talking about this being an adaptation. It is loaded with special features though, so can't complain too much. Um, this is a nice release, which is great because like Dumb and Dumber and The Mask are not like easy Blu-rays to buy. They're not like expensive, but they're like pricier than I would want to pay. And they're not like great Blu-rays. They're older Blu-rays from Warner Brothers, very cheap. I don't even think they have like art on the disc. I just think that they're just plain disc. I don't know. I've never really owned those releases, but from what I remember seeing those releases around, that's what they look like. Kind of wish I had Dumb and Dumber, but that's got to get a 4K at some point, no doubt. I mean, that's also New Line, so I'm assuming, and Warner Brothers, so I'm assuming they'll license that out just like they did with this one. But here's the slipcover. Nice slipcover. Very cool artwork. You got the mask there. Um, you know, there's a 4K disc only. There's smart cards. Here's a poster and a booklet. All the stuff that you want. This cost me like $35, which for the amount of quality you get here, that's a really good deal. I wish there was more of a differentiation on Arrow Video titles where, hey, this one is the hard box, so this one's 35. The one that's just the 4K slip, that one's 30. I wish there kind of was that differentiation. I feel like it bothers me that I'm paying the same amount for less, right? Why am I paying $35 for not the hard box? I also just wish they would just straight say hard box edition, slipcover edition. Just would be nice to know. I feel like nowadays when you pre-order Arrow Video stuff, you have to wait till you get it in the mail, and you're like, oh, it's just a slipcover version, or you have to wait for people to start unboxing it. I feel like a lot of their releases it's pretty easy to guess, but it also would just be nice to know. But either way, it's a nice release for a movie that really hasn't had a great release up until this point. This is the best it's ever looked on home video. It looks amazing on 4K. It's not like best 4K of the year, but it is a really good one in my mind. So yeah, I do kind of miss this version of the Arrow Video hardbox editions. Like, I know people had issues with it sliding out like that, but I didn't have issues with that. Unless you're constantly pulling these editions out, which I don't think many collectors are, I don't see what the problem is. And then also it's like not any real difference between this box set, right? Am I going to put a slipcover over this? No. I think the slipcover is kind of annoying because if something happens to this paper slipcover, then I have this not great looking artwork on my release. because it needs the slipcover to go on top to make it feel complete. And so it bothers me. Also, it doesn't match my other editions very well. It doesn't look terrible. Here, I'll show you what it looks like on the shelf. Like, I was like, oh, okay, there you go. So I think it's cool. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe.